Okay, here we go. Welcome, CSL, to this brand new day, this beautiful neighborhood. Hello, neighbors. Okay, let's raise some positive vibrations.
Okay,
Here we go.
got it going.
There's a tree in our front yard. Wintertime it lets the sun shine through. In summer it keeps me here. The world turns green when the leaves unfold. And then in fall I'll be jumping up high on the gold. Oh, we put the tree in our front yard. The man next door helped plant it in the ground. The tree in our front yard. He never thought that tree would grow so tall, but the soil was just too hard. The tree moved in, he liked it fine. Grew up over this house of mine. The tree in my front yard. Oh, the tree it is. I'll have to climb on the sturdy arms that share my secrets there. Swing like a monkey up and down. The tree don't seem to care. Seems to hear the things I say. When I feel, she feels that way. The tree in my front yard. Oh, the tree. Got his roots sunk away down deep. The tree in my front yard. But in a moonlight breeze she whispers songs to me and dances with the stars. What a balance tree has found, nestled in this holy ground. The tree in my front yard. Oh, the tree it is. Tree in my front yard. Oh, the tree it is. The tree in my front yard.
Well, good morning, CSL. So good to see all of you here this morning, so bright and shiny. I have a few announcements. This Wednesday night, we have book shorts. I will be reading a chapter or two out of the book, Can We Talk to God by Ernest Holmes. So check that out on Wednesday night. I'll put that on YouTube and send it out via email to you. Check that out. And we invite you to use these Wednesday evening services as a resource for cultivating your spiritual life. We're studying that this month. So we send those out. We want you to also maybe set it up in a way that reminds you that you're doing spiritual practice. We've got these candles up here. These are the beeswax candles that we use, and a little cup of sand. If you would like to take one for your spiritual time, we invite you to do that. And it symbolizes the importance of your spiritual time. It makes it feel more sacred when you light a candle and you say, this is what I'm doing tonight. I'm in my sacred space and my sacred time. So we'd love to share the beeswax candles with you. We put those out last week for Evensong, which if you didn't look at Evensong, that is out on YouTube as well, so that you can practice during the week and utilize those resources for your own spiritual growth, since we are cultivating our spiritual life this month. So please take a candle if there's not enough, and we need to make a few more. Mariah knows how to do that, so thank you so much, Mariah, for putting those together.
Thank you.
And utilize that. We do have a YouTube channel that we are uploading all of our services on. We're recording it right now. Hi, YouTube. And the name of that channel, Center for Spiritual Life Delta. You can go directly to YouTube, or if you're not on our email list, there's an email list on the table behind the sign. If you could very legibly write your email on there, I will add you onto the list and you'll be receiving all of our notifications. Okay? So we have committed to doing our services through September. Boy, are we buzzing through September here, right? Outside here, and we will have a core council meeting tomorrow evening and be discussing what is going to be the next step for CSL and our services. And I will be emailing you, so do get on the email list. If you're not receiving our emails, get on that list and keep you updated of what's going to happen in October. Okay?
And I was going to suggest after the leaves fall that we build a big igloo here for the winter.
Well, that would be so fun. Only if Delta got that much snow.
I want to stay outside.
You want to stay outside. Well, we're going to talk about it all, and we'll see how that happens. Also, you should have a handout from today that has our vision and mission on it. It has all of the affirmations for September. Please keep that handy somehow this morning, because we will be reading all of those affirmations and our vision and mission together. Also, at the beginning of September, I passed out some small notebooks for journaling. We won't actually be doing too much journaling today, so it's okay if you didn't bring it. But we are talking about doing journaling this month and using that as my spiritual practice. So if you need one, I'm not sure we have any more of those. Okay, I guess get your own journal. I don't know. Okay, so let's just take a mindful breath right now together as we ease into that center space of stillness within us. And together we allow our vision and our mission to be a blessing that we all together we call forth into the world, spoken in unison with our intention of recognizing spiritual unity with all. So here we go, our vision and mission. This center offers a path for awakening to the realization of oneness. Open hearts, inspired life, empowered love.
Our spiritual community welcomes all people
to embrace oneness as the truth
of our being.
Together we see a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission? We recognize and realize the omnipresence of divine love as the truth of all.
still, my soul, be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will listen, Holy Spirit, I will listen. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place.
And in this stillness, please join me in your heart center, allowing each breath to feel a deepening connection, with the only moment there is, the simplicity of the breath, breathing in the Spirit, allowing that connection to bring spiritual and divine nourishment, allowing a deepening awareness of the one presence, the one power, the one intelligence, the one unlimited, compassionate love. And this infinite intelligence, this infinite oneness, expresses itself as the abundant, expansive nature of life. And we are each unique emanations of this one life. And knowing this presence as myself, and knowing this presence as each and every one of us here today, I affirm that each heart radiates a vibration of love and caring that uplifts and supports us and radiates to everyone around us. And today I affirm our unity with all people everywhere, knowing the Spirit's perfection is shining through in the everydayness of life. And from that divine heart, from the divine mine of thoughts that create our life, I affirm that we each live a life of compassion, of love, of understanding, having a peaceful heart, that we each live the creative desires of our heart, that we are united in the world with our individual, unique reality of spirit. And we are a blessing, not only to ourselves, but to the whole world. For those requests in the prayer chest, the desires of your heart, and any unspoken burden that you may be carrying, I declare that the healing presence of God is right in the midst, that the goodness of life is being revealed right now in each and every situation, that divine perfection is fulfilling itself in love, in health, in abundance, in wisdom, in clarity. All is well, and all is spirit. We are blessed by the contributions today of the time and talent of each person here, especially as the music and the volunteers bring forth a message that helps us expand our awareness of our own true nature. So, knowing the wonderment, the awe of spirit active in our life at every moment, being grateful for this truth and the goodness of life, I release this word, knowing that it is already so in the mind of God, as we join together and declare,
and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper and deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred shores. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred shores. Get ready, my soul.
Welcome today to this beautiful autumn day. If there is something in your heart, something in your mind that's making this day less than beautiful for you, please leave your worries in the prayer box, and we'll be doing affirmative prayer this week. So don't take your burdens home with you. From Anita Morjani, your only job is to be aware of the light that you are, and be aware of that what brightness your light, and be aware of what brightens your light, so that you may always stay a beacon for yourself and others. And from Ernest Holmes, life is wherever you are. It revolves around you even as it flows through you. Keep the doorway of your mind open. Feeling, thinking, communing with this life, know that it fills you with light and with power.
Thank you, Lou. Well, here we are, September, focusing on cultivating my spiritual life. So Anybody doing the work this week? Yeah, some people doing the work all the time, right? So this morning, let me talk first a little bit. This morning we honored our beautiful tree. We just couldn't be out here every single day this summer without recognizing this beautiful tree that is covering all of us right now. Herman Hesse says, for me, trees have always been the most penetrating preachers. A tree says, my strength is trust. I know nothing about my fathers. I know nothing about the 1,000 children that every year spring out of me. I live out the secret of my seed to the very end. And I care for nothing else. I trust that God is in me. I trust that my labor is holy. Out of this trust, I live. Isn't that beautiful? I continue to realize how beneficial nature is to me. How about you guys? I know there's so many people who love nature, right? It really doesn't even matter how you connect with nature. It could be just a very small patch of grass in a city block that I can rest my bare feet in. Or it could be the rolling hills of a manicured golf course. Or the majesty of the rugged mountains. It could be in giving my full attention to following a trail of ants to see where they found entrance into the house, right? Or enjoying any animal or sunrise or ocean. In nature, I can invoke a loving feeling towards it. It seems easy. I can enter into its presence in awe and gratitude and feel right at home. It takes me right back to childhood wonder. Remember looking at the clouds, the sky, a tree. It's so easy to see the divine working as nature. We can feel the substance of love press upon us when we connect at the very source level. Can you feel the love? Look around here at each other this morning. Can you feel the love? Can you actually feel it in your body? That's what we're talking about today. In living a spiritual life, and that is a life where we can relax and enjoy life abundantly, taking not as much thought for our lives, then we realize that this feeling of love is the fire or the passion giving power to our dreams and our desires. The vibration of love is the divine energy needed to propel it into manifestation. Most of us spend more of our time and attention in our mind, our intellect, than we do in our hearts. And I don't think that's wrong. I think that maybe is first. But there comes a time to unite the mind and the heart. When we take the time to learn about the heart and how powerful it is in our lives, then we can begin to practice integrating our mind and our hearts, each one in its proper place, for us to live out the secret of our seed that's buried deep within us and longing to be brought forth as our unique individuality. I want that, right? Today, I'm going to offer some thoughts and ideas about uniting our minds and our hearts for balance and harmony in ourselves, for balance and harmony in our lives, and collectively in the world. I think we could use some balance and harmony in the world. So I'm going to share this writing by Bodie Simpson. Starts with a quote, and it says, "Let your heart talk to your brain as a way of life, so that you can experience flow, ease, clarity, and connection. Let your heart talk to your brain. He says, it is easy to become clouded by the many distractions of life. We close our hearts in self-protection and try to think our way through situations. When we take the time to gently open up and give ourselves kindness, acceptance, and love, we are able to get in touch with the clarity that comes from being present in our hearts. Practice the exercises below often. We're going to do some exercises today so that you can learn to listen to and feel the wisdom of your own heart. Once we connect to our own wisdom, our heart can inform our mind. Research shows that our heart is the first organ to form in our bodies, and that our brain is formed from our heart. Our heart actually has its own nervous system that operates independently of the brain. Research also shows that the heart responds to information intuitively before the brain. Therefore, it is our true nature to have our heart inform our mind. Somehow, we have become disconnected from this truth. He says our heart is at the center of our energy system. This means that everything within our body runs off of the fuel of our hearts. Our heart is our life force, pumping blood throughout our bodies. Without our heart, we do not live. Our heart informs us intuitively. It gives us a felt sense about whether or not something is a good choice for us. When we speak and make choices from the truth within our hearts, we live from a truly authentic place. Our heart speaks the voice of our true self with a capital S, and always leads us in the right direction. Our mind often speaks to us from a voice of fear and judgment, so it cannot lead us in the healthiest direction unless it is checking in with the feelings in our heart. Our negative thoughts and beliefs can lead us astray, but our minds are not useless. Our intellect helps us to create meaning. It is important that we increase our ability to align our thoughts with the feelings being given to us from our hearts. Often we just need to work at having our minds take a pause while we adjust to how we really feel. Our feelings are often ignored and not honored. He says when we take the time to shift our awareness to our hearts and learn to live life from here, fully open, we are also able to experience the unity connection. This is the experience of the reality that everything and everyone is energy and is connected. It is important for us all to get out of our heads and into our hearts so that we're able to experience this feeling of our interconnectedness. This can only be felt and experienced to understand, not intellectualized. So today I'm going to share with you several practices. So we're going to do a few practices of getting into our heart space and opening the heart. And this one is from Bodhi Simpson, and it's pretty simple. So he says, bring your attention right now to your heart region. So just gently close your eyes and let your attention fall to your heart region. Place your hand over your heart to remind you to bring loving attention to your experience right now. Feel the gentle pressure and warmth of your hand against your skin. Now find your breath in the heart region. Breathe through that heart space. And if you like, you could make small circles with your hand on your chest. Now with each breath in, Imagine the color pink entering in through your heart. Continue breathing with each in-breath. Breathe in the color pink to represent love and compassion, and let it fill up your entire body. With each breath out, you can release negative thoughts and negative self-talk that you become aware of as it arises. Just release it on the out-breath. Breathe in the color pink. Love, compassion. Feel that in your body. Feel the presence of love within you. Continue this process until you feel yourself filled, just filled with love and compassion for yourself. And let's just sit with this feeling for just a moment. Just complete that exercise with a nice deep breath. Blow that out. All right. So I want to just bring up a few ways, and this is just from my personal life, my personal spiritual journey. Ways that I keep myself from experiencing a loving heart, an open and loving heart. And ways that I give negative things entrance into my experience by actually closing my heart and generating negative emotions. So I just want to talk just a minute about a few of those ways that I have found affects me. Just 3 of them. The first one is caring what others think of me. Right? Gosh, that has such a hold on me so many times. I'm not going to say a whole lot about that. I'm just going to say other people will always think whatever they think. Okay? They're coming from their own mindset. They're coming from their own perceptions. They will think whatever they think. It is perfect for them in this moment, for their own growth and their own well-being, as are the choices that I'm making are perfect for me right now. Whatever they're thinking is perfect in their own life. Okay? You'll never have control over other people's thoughts. We all know that, but somehow we believe those and think that, if we can do better, we're going to change somebody's mind. You're never going to have control over other people's thoughts. It's a dead-end road. Thinking that keeps me small and confined within other people's ideas of me. okay? Instead of trusting the wisdom from my own heart, trusting the wisdom from the divine, which we are all connected to. It's really only important what I think of me, okay? I constantly remind myself that. Second thing that I do, thinking I am above those who are unenlightened, right? Okay? An open heart is humble. Knowing that the same power that is maintaining and sustaining me is also the wisdom and intelligence of everyone, working perfectly in all. When I can know that, that will keep my heart pure. We are all equal in God. We are all 100% God stuff. Okay? We're expressing differently, equal in God stuff. The third thing I come across, thinking of spirituality as a destination instead of a journey. Always wondering when we're going to get there. Okay? Opening my heart to love for all is a way of life. It's a way of living my life. When I follow this path, my challenges fall away because I am no longer competing for my good with someone else. I'm cooperating with the whole in harmony. Okay? I live every day, every moment by spiritual principles. It's a new way to live. It's alive in me right now. It's a new way to live my life. Thich Nhat Hanh would say, there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Okay? So I've looked up a little bit by Gregg Braden this past week. So Gregg Braden is a scientist. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of him. He's doing a lot of great work and he speaks our language. And I would love to share just a little bit about the heart, what he has to say. Creating your heart-brain connection, he says. In each moment of every day, that's a lot. Each moment of every day. That's all the time, okay? A conversation is taking place inside us. Without a doubt, it's one of the most vital communications we will ever find ourselves engaged in. It's the silent, often subconscious, and never-ending conversation of emotion-based signals between our hearts and our brains, also known as the heart-brain connection. The reason this conversation is so important is because the quality of the emotional signal of our hearts sends to our brains determines what kind of chemicals our brains release into our bodies. When we feel what we would typically call negative emotions, for instance, anger or hate or jealousy, rage, our hearts send a signal to our brains that mirrors our feelings. Such emotions are irregular and chaotic, and this is precisely what the signal they send to the brain looks like. Chaotic and irregular. The human body interprets this kind of signal as stress and triggers the mechanisms to help us respond appropriately. The stress from negative emotions increases the levels of cortisol and adrenaline, often called stress hormones, which prepare us for a quick and powerful reaction to whatever it is that's causing us the stress in our bloodstreams. This is our instinctive fight or flight response. The research has shown that when we create rejuvenating emotions, such as appreciation, care, gratitude, and compassion, the signal from heart to brain becomes more harmonized to reflect the quality of these emotions. In the presence of a harmonized signal, there is no need for the fight or flight response. The stress hormones decrease, allowing the heart and brain to shift and produce the chemistry that supports stronger immune response. Whether it's based in emotions from stress or harmony, the conversation and connection between the heart and the brain is constantly occurring as a dialogue of very low frequencies. This is one of those places where science and spirituality overlap beautifully. While the science describes the electrical relationship and connection between the heart and the brain, ancient spiritual practices and techniques have helped people to apply the relationship in their lives and do so without a scientific explanation. Process for connecting positive emotions with your brains or with your brain and or thoughts. He's going to give us a process which they use in heart math. Who's studied heart math? Are people familiar with heart math? So this is a process I know that's used in heart math, but Greg Braden talks about it as well in his books. And it's for connecting your brain and your heart. Okay, so we're going to go through this. There's just 2 steps, and if you've showed up to early meditation practice at all, when we've done third Sunday meditations, we use heart math. We use the same process. Okay, short. So let's just do it for just a moment, and again, we're going to focus on our hearts. Okay, let's get comfortable. Shift your focus into the area of your heart. Begin to breathe a little more slowly than usual, as if your breath is coming from your heart. This step alone is powerful technique unto itself and can be used when you're feeling overwhelmed by the day's events or simply desire to be more connected with yourself. As you slow your breathing, you are sending a signal to your body in general and your heart specifically that you are in a place that is safe, and it's okay to turn your attention inward. So moving into step 2, activate a positive feeling. Make a sincere attempt to experience a regenerative feeling, such as appreciation or care for someone or something in your life. The key in this step is to first create the feeling to the best of your ability, and then to embrace the feeling, again, to the best of your ability. That feeling of appreciation or care or gratitude. We're expanding that in our heart space right now. Your ability to sustain the feeling is what maintains the optimal conversation between your heart and your brain. So let's just practice this for just a moment.
It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed, was already there, closer than the sunlight. I am filled with the Spirit, and it is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy, it is joy to my soul. And I breathe out a simple prayer, thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that is singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, and all I ever needed, was already there, closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air. And I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit. Oh, and it is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy, it is joy to my soul. And I breathe out my simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that was singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. It's like the air around me.
Just take a deep breath. All right. So I'd like to share again from John Randolph Price's book, Practical Spirituality. I have another exercise that we're going to go through one last time. It'll be the end of what we're doing here. And I just want to read a little bit leading up to the exercise. He says, there is a fine line, a straight and narrow path that we must walk, and it can best be described as a state of mind where an individual lives in spiritual consciousness and expresses in the physical world as a co-creator with God. How do we do this? One way is to align our power of will with the power of love and express them simultaneously as courage, strength of purpose, resolution, and determination to be active as a spiritual being and as unconditional love towards everyone and everything. He says the focus of will alone may be expressed as the cold determination to move through any obstacle at any cost. When blended with love energy from the heart, the power of will or mind broadens its perspective and accepts its responsibility. Its actions are then based on the divine idea of goodwill. In the mind of God, will means the cosmic urge to express, and that expression is with and in love, meaning the highest good for all. Your will is your urge to express the fullness of your potentiality, but the force must be controlled by unconditional love, or the heart. Mind and emotions, head and heart must be united in and for goodwill, the good of all. When will is brought into alignment with love, your vision becomes broader and your consciousness is lifted into a higher vibration. You continue to move towards your objective, but that objective now includes freedom, joy, peace, abundance, wholeness, and happiness, and not just for yourself, but for all of humanity. The drive of your will, combined with the energy of love from your heart center, makes you a light bearer, a blessing to everyone within the range of your consciousness. That's pretty big. So here's the exercise, okay? Now listen up just a little bit and we'll see how this is going to work. Let me read this. Try this exercise with me. Visualize a beam of light connecting your heart center and your mind at the center of your forehead, okay? So you've got this beam of light you're visualizing, okay? If you're not good at visualizing, it's really okay, okay? Just pretend you're visualizing, okay? It works the same. As you take a few conscious breaths, on the inhale, follow the light from your heart up to your head. On the exhale, follow the light back down from your head to your heart. Just do this on your own right now, several times. No worries if you have trouble imaging, okay? The desire to do so is enough. Just watch that light go up and down. We're connecting, okay? And now I'm going to give you some things to say as we connect back and forth. It's okay if this is clumsy. We're just going to try it. And what we're going to do is we'll start by placing our hand on our heart, okay? And what we're doing is we're speaking from our heart, and then we're going to speak from our head, then we're going to speak from our heart and speak from our head. We're going to go back and forth. You may choose to repeat these words after me. You may choose to take the words I say as your own. You may choose to say them silently to yourself, okay? So our hand is on our heart. And feel the words deeply as I say them. I love the self I was created to be.
I love the self I was created created to be.
Now move your hand to your forehead. I am determined to realize the self I was created to be. I am determined to realize the self I was created to be. Breathe. Back down to your heart. I love every soul on this planet as myself.
I love every soul on this planet as myself.
Breathe. Back up to your head. I choose wholeness and harmony for everyone, no exceptions. I choose wholeness and harmony for everyone, no exceptions. Breathe. Back down to your heart. I love the activity of spirit in my life. I love the activity of spirit in my life. Breathe.
Amen.
Back up to your head. I am the activity of spirit as a distributor of God power. I am the activity of spirit as a distributor of God power. Breathe. Back down to your heart. I love my mission in life.
I love my mission in life.
Breathe back up to your head. Last one here. It's a long one and I'll say it twice. I now go forth with great enthusiasm to accomplish that which Spirit has for me to do. I now go forth with great enthusiasm to accomplish that which Spirit has for me to do. And now go back to your breath. The inhale, follow the beam of light up to from your heart to your head. And on the exhale, follow it back down. The uniting of these two powers will balance your energies. It will start your engine. It will press the accelerator to give you the go power toward your destination with loving determination. By connecting the powers of heart and mind and expressing them in your daily life, you will receive all the inspiration, guidance, and enthusiasm that you need to chart your course, to move out and to find your piece of the puzzle. And as you do, you will notice those challenges falling away and vanishing from your life, because you will be moving out of your old ego vibration where problems find entrance into your life and affairs. Use your will or your mind to build a fire under you and to get your momentum going, and let your heart or your love point the way and be the guiding light to the mountaintop. Let's end that with one more big, deep breath. All right. So mostly we had in-church practice today, but I do still have some homework. So a couple things. Your church homework today is kind of fun. First of all, I invite you to journal this week and start a conversation with yourself with a small s and yourself with a big S, okay? Your ego mind and also your heart. Start a conversation going there between the two in your journal. Ask for insights. After practicing these exercises by uniting the two. You may have some revelations and insights, and I invite you to write those down. An ongoing journal can help us to make sense of our lives and put and able to put it into spiritual practice. Remember what we learned, okay? It brings the wisdom of the divine from within forward to lead us and guide us to our best life ever. Our best life ever, right? Okay, so my second homework, that's one homework. The second one is fun. Up on the table here, I have some coloring pages. And so I invite you to take one of the coloring pages. There's 4 options. Take one of those home. That kind of a coloring page that I have here is the kind that will unite your mind and your heart as you color it and read it. And you'll recognize that when you pick it up. So they're kind of fun. Okay, got your homework? I love that. There's one person. Woohoo! Right.
I'm writing.
Okay, I believe you. All right, let's do it.
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Okay, as the ushers prepare, this is our time for joyously participating in the fullness of life and the law of circulation. So I invite you to take your gift, your offering in your hand, and know that today I am gratefully participating in the givingness and receiving-ness of life from that place of unlimited abundance. I receive and I gratefully give forth, knowing that this is the way of life. And our affirmation: God is my source and my power, and I give thanks for all my blessings.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my source. all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
So, for all these blessings gratefully received, gratefully circulated, I give thanks, for they go forth, enhancing our lives, the life of our church community, our life in our community, and the whole world consciousness, and so it is.
So it is. Okay, I'd just like to welcome anyone who is here for the first time. Welcome to CSL. This is how we're doing it right now. If you're not on the email list, please get on there so we can get you updates when October starts. Tamara will be walking around and she can answer. Raise your hand, Tamara Hauze. There she is. Yes, so if you have any questions, you can ask Tamara. She knows a lot. Just saying.
She feels a lot too.
She what?
She feels a lot
She
too.
feels. She can also, you know what else she could do? She can take your debit or credit card if you wanted to try to do that.
She has a whole collection of them, so she can take yours too.
I like the one with the little iridescent stickers. So if you'd like to tithe, Tamara can use your debit or credit card to do that as well. So thank you, Tamara, for that. I want to remind you that there are prayer request forms on the table behind the sign. This is really important, so put your ears on. If you have a challenge, and even if you don't have a challenge, maybe you have an adventure, okay, that you would like some extra mojo, some spiritual juice, okay, for this week. Lou takes our prayer requests home with her, and in her own special spiritual time, she adds us into that. So it's not anything special, just put your name. It asks for the good you desire, which is for you. That's not for Lou. Lou already knows you're good, okay? The good you desire is for you to write down so that you can see that the good that you desire is a possibility. Heck, you're writing it down. If it's in your mind, it's possible, okay? And then Lou will take that, and she knows the truth for you. Sometimes we're a little too close, and we're in fear. And so turning that over to God is having someone else pray for you. So I encourage you to do that. And let's just recognize Lou and her beautiful volunteer workforce. Thank you. So get out your paper. We have our repetitive affirmations. And there's 5 of these. We're just going to say them all the way down. So look at them a little bit so we don't stumble. And let's make sure the whole neighborhood hears us on these as well, okay? Here we go. I am
Open to the divine wisdom within me. I trust that my life is unfolding perfectly. I am willing to be all I am created to be.
I am
Grateful for my spiritual life.
Life
is for me, and so it is.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be.
is in touch with my